Hello everybody and welcome. I am Loic Ferris. In this video I'm going to be doing some mercenary missions that involve dogfighting in my Anvil Super Hornet. Mercenary missions are a really great way to make credits in Star Citizen. If you're looking for a way to make some money to either buy armor or gear, this is a solid way to do it. Now, once you've picked up a mercenary mission and you get those out of your mobi-glass, I'll show that a little bit later in the video, you're going to need to plot your course. So you can see I've got the star map up right now. It's going to appear as that little box on the left side of the screen, and then you can see that the target that I have to kill is at the top left. Now, there's a lot of people who say that Star Citizen is, a game that's falling apart. It's a game that's dying. They're running out of money, blah, blah, blah. This game actually has a lot of content in it. In fact, it's ironic. It has a lot more content than some games that have released in the past. One of the ones that comes to mind for me right away is Star Wars Galaxies. I mean, Star Wars Galaxies was described as being 1,000,000 miles wide and 1 inch deep. This game already feels like it's 1,000,000 miles wide, and I'd say at this point it's probably about 2 or 3 feet deep. But they're still working on it. They're still adding a lot of content to it. And this is just one of the activities that you can do inside of the game. So usually when you come out of quantum space, you're going to be a bit away from your target. If you're lucky, there's something that you can line up with and do a micro jump, which you saw just there. This jump got me close enough to my target that I was able to get to it pretty quickly. Sometimes you just have to set your max speed all the way up and fly there for a while. In this case, I didn't have to do that, thankfully. Now, when you're dogfighting with a ship, you really have to consider the strengths of the fighter that you're using. In this particular case, the Hornet flies, I don't know, if I was going to compare it to anything, I'd say it flies like an airplane. Not that I know how to fly an airplane, but I'm making a bunch of assumptions here. The ship does not turn left and right really very well. It doesn't go very quickly. What you do is you want to rotate the ship around, and you want to pull up or you want to bank down. Now, another thing that you want to consider when you're dogfighting in this game is this is space. So when you're flying in space, it's like drifting. Imagine drifting a car with guns on it and you're shooting at the other car. You have to take that into account when you're flying. It's not like Star Wars where, they took an X-Wing and they banked it over and it just keeps its trajectory perfectly. In this game, if you use that drifting to your advantage, you can really do a lot of damage to a target that you're fighting against. Another thing that you can do in this game, if you've ever watched Battlestar Galactica, the one that came out back in the 2000s, you would see those fighters, they would flip around and then they would be able to point themselves toward a target while they were moving into another direction, basically strafing, and destroy those targets without actually having to change the direction of their ship. You can do the exact same thing in this game by going into decoupled mode. You might notice in my HUD you'll see an icon appear every once in a while, which is me decoupling the ship. Now, if you want to just flip the ship around so you can keep pointing at a target, you'd want to pull the power back on the engines, decouple the ship, flip yourself around, and then push the power back. Now, what's really nice about using decoupled mode is it will actually help you save fuel. If you're not in decoupled mode and you're whipping the ship around, trying to stay onto a target, the ship's going to be using all of those maneuvering jets to try to maintain your trajectory. It's going to actually try to bank your ship around. If you go into decoupled mode, it's not going to do that. It's just going to use the maneuvering jets to change the direction of the ship until you disengage decoupled mode and you go back into flight assist or whatever the heck it's called. I can't remember at this point. Put it in the comments below if you do. So you can see in dogfighting here, this really doesn't look that hard. And I'll admit it really isn't. CIG is working on enhancing the AI for dogfights like this so that the ships are a bit more challenging, and they've got several notes about those enhancements in their roadmap for the versions that are coming within the next 12 to 18 months. Now, in addition to that, there's also 3 different types of gimbal modes on this game. There's fixed, where your guns are simply locked forward, and that's pure gamer skill. I mean, you've got to point the guns exactly where they need to shoot to hit the target, and I'll be honest with you, that is extremely difficult. Anybody who can do that, I wish I was you. There's also gimbaled mode, which basically means the guns are going to angle in the direction that you're pointing the ship, and you have to manually line them up with that lead icon there in front of that vessel in order to hit the target. Now, the third mode is gimbal assist, which is what I currently have on right now. I put on gimbal assist because I'm going to be quite honest with you, I am not that great of a fighter pilot. There are a lot of people who are upset about gimbal assist. They say it's easy mode. They complain about it, but here's half the problem. If you make the game too hard, people aren't going to play it. Plus, this game takes place 900 years in the future. And let's be honest here. If this kind of space combat actually exists, gimbal assist will exist on those ships. In 900 years, I'm pretty sure they're going to have that technology. Okay, so what you're seeing me do here now, I am looking for another mission. I clicked into my personal, and I'm looking under Mercenary, and I'm looking for another bounty hunting mission where I can blow somebody up and make some more credits. So clicking through, there's one for 6,000 that I just found. I'm going to accept that, and now I'm going to try to figure out where that ship's located. Like I was saying before, if you're lucky, the ship's going to be close to where you were at originally. So I'm waiting for the pip to show up. Sometimes it takes a moment. And there we go. The pip just showed up, and I'm going to swing around and see. See, there we go. It's really not that far from us. So I edited that part out so you'd have to watch me flying. But I flew up into the asteroid field, came up on the ship, and here we go. Now, a couple of other things that you've noticed as I was sitting here yapping away is when I'm attacking a target, sometimes they have an escort. Depending on the bounty that you're doing, you're going to get a crime stat. You're going to get somebody upset that you killed this person. In this particular case, I do have a crime stat. And I got an additional crime stat from the first target I killed because I also took out some of Hurston Security's ships who also attacked me. In this case, this fighter here, he's another bounty obviously, and he's got 2 other ships that are near him, but they're not engaging me at this moment. And you can see I'm going back and forth using decoupled and then the standard flight mode, just so I can whip the ship around and stay on target with it. There we go. Alright guys, well, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. If you have any comments or suggestions, please let me know in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it. And I will see you around the verse.